What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video, and I hope everyone's had an amazing day. And if you are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Shy. We're back with top 10, and this is top 10 unbelievable events that will happen in your children's lifetime. So sit back, relax, let's watch.
Cultured meat might become a regular part of our diets in the coming years, making its way onto the dinner table and appearing in some of our favorite restaurants.
We've talked about eclipses, we've talked about shooting stars and space travel, but depending on when you were born, you might see them in your lifetime. But in today's video, we are covering the things that will make the lives of those born only yesterday so different from the lives we are living today. From unlimited internet to experimental cuisine, today we review our top 10 list of unbelievable events that will happen in your children's lifetime. I'm your host, Rachel Fisher, and let's get started. Coming in at number 10, flying in a window. If you've ever given up the window seat for your toddler when you fly together, fear not. One day, everyone will have a window seat, as Penticon Design in France and UK's Center for Process Innovation wants to offer a panoramic view of the sky. Don't worry, the plane won't be entirely made of glass. It will merely be a convincing simulation created by cameras placed on the outside of the plane. The hope is that passengers will feel as though they are walking on air, and it will also make planes lighter. I can't imagine this would be a very pleasant experience for anyone who is terrified of heights, but for all window seat lovers like me, this would certainly be a breath of fresh air for those long flights. Number 9.
That's cool.
The days will be longer. So I'm not just talking about the summer solstice here. Our days are actually going to get longer, albeit not by much, but still.
Is the sun gonna slow down?
Second before bedtime makes a huge difference. Every 100 years we gain around 1.7 milliseconds. The reason this happens is because of the ocean's tides generated by the gravity of the sun and the moon. As the moon slowly spirals away from Earth, it essentially takes the energy out of Earth's orbit, slowing it down. This is a very simplistic explanation, but essentially the whole thing can be blamed on the effects of gravity. But a lot of us who feel there are not enough hours in the day wish it was more, but still, our children, then our children's children, then our children's children's children just might get that
generation.
It is kind of crazy to think that this is happening slowly every day. Number 8, imagine being able to check your email, tweet, or post to Instagram all with the blink of an eye. It appears phone screens, or any screen for that matter, are determined to be so small they're almost invisible. If you're worried about your kids having too much screen time, keep an eye out for when smart contact lenses hit the playground. Samsung is determined to one-up the Google Lens, which was released in 2014, and they may be closer than you think. Researchers have inserted a light-emitting diode in a newly developed material that is a stretchy combination of graphene and silver
once you get it in, you can get it out.
Not only transparent, but highly conductive. Beyond potentially using them to read emails, but then still finding an excuse not to reply right away, medically, these technical wonders could be really helpful. At the University of Illinois, researchers are currently using the graphene nanowire conductors to make biosensors to help monitor overall health of the eyes. They're also being used to help filter light in specific ways to help a variety of vision problems. Coming in at
who wants a device in their eye?
So if you watched my previous video about robots who will take over the world, then you know that AI robotics is making some serious strides. So it could be that by the time our children are grown up, that their best friend could be a robot. In fact, we are already in a stage of co-evolution. Sam Altman, who's president of the Y Combinator, says, and I quote, "Oh yeah, we're making robots that are way too smart. We're all doomed. We will be the first species ever to design our own descendants." Look, it is pure human arrogance that we don't think we will be able to build something that is smarter than us. It's going to happen either way, by accident or on purpose. Most people believe that AI robots could create a form of subhuman either as early as 2025 or 2075. Neuroscientist and geostrategist Dr. Naif Al-Rodin even said that it's only a matter of time before we create transhumans, improved versions of ourselves that could threaten their non-advanced selves, so they'll look to destroy them. Number 6, self-driving cars. Everyone knows how exciting it is to turn 16 and finally get behind the wheel of a car for the first time.
I don't trust driving
And every parent knows the feeling of having to lend your car to someone who's only been driving for years. Yay! But there is a possibility that in the future, both these experiences could be eradicated with self-driving cars. Many high-tech companies like Tesla and Waymo boasted that millions of these vehicles would be on the roads by now, but that's not the case yet. Because the cars rely on AI to work, and though we've made massive strides in that field, as I said, AI still can't improvise and solve real-world problems. In order to do this, the computers have to collect hundreds, thousands of hours of data how to navigate unpredictable situations. So it doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but it's just going to take a little longer. Will it be just in time for your child's 16th birthday? Who knows? But scientists are definitely on the way. Number 5, lab-grown meat. Imagine digging into a juicy burger or pound after pound of spicy chicken wings with none
Basically
of the
gonna
guilt.
take the
Scientists
species
are
of a
currently
cow
working on
and just
ethical lab-grown
grow
meat
it.
that will eradicate the need for slaughterhouses altogether. As our population approaches 10 billion people, feeding that many stomachs poses a massive challenge that we just won't have the space for. On top of the fact that going vegan or vegetarian isn't always accessible to some either by cost or lifestyle choice, meat is still a necessity. In fact, scientists expect the demand for meat to rise by 88% between now and 2050, which would mean we would need a pastoral land the size of India to cope. So what's the alternative solution? Stem cells! Yay! Scientists will take stem cells from a live animal and grow them in a nutrient-rich bioreactor with cell-culture media. The biomass will then be separated into muscle and fat cells, then processed for final product. Our dinner. I know it sounds more chemical than appetizing, but these will be a healthy and cruelty-free option for so many who require meat for their diets. Personally, I'm 100% down. I'm in. It's cool. Chia Meats is a company based in Singapore that is one example of a startup company who can grow seafood crustaceans 4 times faster than the traditional method. So if it ends up being even better, hell yeah. Number 4, communicate.
Okay, she said it's cruelty-free, but it's still the DNA from the animal. How do you feel about this? But I don't know, because I still want to learn more about it, because is it going from a lab and all those chemicals or something to make it grow, you know? But I don't know yet. I still need to learn. But what do you guys think?
With the dead. Okay. Did anyone else binge the show Upload on Amazon Prime or San Junipero? Let me know in the comments if you did. If you didn't, the show centers around the idea that people can upload their consciousness to an afterlife that can be interacted with by the living, which may be closer to reality than we thought. Ray Kurzweil, futurist and director at Google, thinks it is possible that we will be able to create a virtual reality where avatars of our deceased loved ones exist. They may even be so realistic that we can interact with them. He's experimenting by uploading photos and letters from his father, saying that the avatar he creates will know his father's entire past. Theoretically, not the same thing at all. And I wonder, could this cause more harm than good? I'm sure all of us have someone in our lives we wish we could speak with just one more time, but what happens if we
Don't worry, I see my loved ones in my dreams.
If you're excited to see what's next, and if you want more videos of this. Alright,
Have you heard of astral travel?
Internet for everyone!
Lucid
you get
dreaming?
internet, and you get internet, and hey, you over there, you get internet too. Yeah, imagine never having to run out of data while using Google Maps in a new city, or out in the boonies somewhere. Well, Starlink hopes to make that happen, and maybe even as soon as the end of this year. Once again, we've got Elon Musk on our list because love him or hate him, wherever there are big ideas, Musk seems to be attached to them. Starlink is an internet service that hopes to bring high-speed, low-latency broadband internet globally. It's still in its beta stages, but as Starlink continues to launch satellites and ground stations, the service is only going to improve with maybe a few setbacks. Either way, whether it's Starlink or another competitor, our future generations may not know what it is like to stand on a chair holding your phone up to the air to just get Wi-Fi connection. Just like some kids already don't know what dial-up is. Number 2, we will have the ability to connect with thoughts,
War Thunder, the military online action game, has received this year's first major update. The branch of unique South African vehicles is now available.
Kinetically. Sounds far-fetched.
Telepathic communication. I mean, somebody can already do that.
According to an article in the Smithsonian magazine in 2014, a recent telekinetic experiment had a person from India say hola and ciao to 3 other people in France. The remarkable accomplishment was a combined effort from Barcelona Research Institute Starlab, French firm Axiom Robotics, and Harvard Medical School. But don't worry, the purpose of this technology is not to hack our thoughts, but to allow people to communicate in limited situations for those who can't speak anymore or have sensory impairments. But we still have a long way to go. Though the experiment was successful, it's still a pretty complicated way to say hello. First, the team had to translate letters into binary equivalent. Then the sender, with sensors attached to their head, had to move their hands to indicate the message. The receiver was then blindfolded and their head fixed to a transcranial magnetic stimulation, which is a non-invasive headset often used to treat depression. And the stimulation from the headset caused him to see flashes of light, kind of like Morse code, and from there it was translated into text. So, long process. The whole thing took a total of 70 seconds. Imagine if you lost the ability to speak or had to communicate silently over a long distance. Either way, it's easy to imagine that this technology might be perfected within our kids' lifetime. Hopefully, they pass their teenage years because no parent wants to know what their kids are thinking at that age. And lastly, number one, we might no longer be on Earth. Look, you can still tell your child that they can be whatever they want to be when they grow up, as long as
We're going to
astronaut
Mars.
is hyphenated, like actor, astronaut, doctor, astronaut, shoemaker, astronaut. The late Stephen Hawking wasn't alone when he made the prediction that in the next 100 years, due to climate change, humanity will have to leave Earth. If not climate change, then pandemics. I know, been there, done that, but likely to happen again. Population growth and even overdue asteroids give us good reasons to expand our living space. With the next moon landing testing our limitations for long-term habitation on the moon, and $3 trillion being invested in the International Space Station, it is possible that our children or great-grandchildren will have to have a bag packed ready for space at any time. And that was our top 10 unbelievable events that will happen in your children's lifetime. I don't know about you, but I don't know whether I'm excited or scared for our future generations. Probably both. If you like this video, remember to subscribe for more.
I mean, this is a good video. I like it a lot. Not a lot, but I like it. Some fun things I'm excited about are, I mean, with the technology, mostly technology, but some things, and you know. So tell me what you think about it. So tell me guys what you think about this video. You should like, comment, and subscribe. Have the most awesome positive day. Until next time, you guys.